Hey everybody. Wendy asked me to get on here and do a quick little video of just some verbiage that I use when I talk to people. And honestly, I feel about half silly doing this, but because, honestly, all I do is just talk to people like I would talk to anybody every day. I don't do anything special or anything like that. And so I'll just lay down a few little situations, tell you a few stories of some things that I've done and just some situations I've been in. Conversations, I guess would be a better word. But anyway, and I always just like to tell people, like, the best part, if you're just getting started, the best part to me is not knowing everything or not knowing anything. Just knowing that you really like the products. That's the best part. Because, what I would say to people early on is, they would ask me, I would mention the business to them, or I would mention products to them, and they would ask me a question. I would be like, I don't know. I just know I love it, and I know there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I would love if you tried it with me, if you would do it with me. And so that was the easiest thing early on, is just being excited. And honestly, still today, if you're excited about the product and you're excited about the business, then 9 times out of 10, whoever you're talking to or whoever you're around, that excitement is going to rub off on them, and they're just going to step right in with you. And so it's honestly just a lot of attitude, and your friends and family and people will just follow suit with you. So attitude is everything, always, with anything, I guess. So that was my favorite part starting out, is you don't have to know everything, and you don't have to pretend to, and just be real. Just be raw and be real. That is the biggest thing. And I tell that to people all the time. You don't have to write up text messages that sound like a flyer that you've gotten in the mail. Somebody trying to sell you something there. Just be you. Just talk like you would normally talk. And don't be too salesy. I used to tell my sister-in-law when she first started, don't be too lawyery, because this is not the same. And you just want to converse with people like you're talking to your best girlfriend or your mom or whoever. So today, for example, I was just going through my organization and just trying to pinpoint down what different brand partners needed and whatnot. And so I called my friend Kristen. Kristen's my mom's neighbor, and Kristen's gotten her products she's gotten her 3-year free, basically since the month she started. And so I called her today. She had a big order. She has 2 customers, and so I just wanted to make sure that she knew that she needed one more to get her 3-year free. And so one of her orders was an advanced skincare set. And so sometimes people get a little confused. They still, just because they have the volume there, they still need the 3rd customer to get the 3-year free. So I was telling her that and explained all that to her. But then I told her, I said, Kristen, I said, do you realize how much money you made off of that advanced skincare set? And she was like, no. Well, she made over $40 on that advanced skincare set. And that's a lot of money. And so I told her, I explained the commission kind of to her. And I went down and I looked through her whole customer list. And I said, you've got 1, 2, 3, she had all these customers on there. And I said, I'll tell you, if I were you, what I would do. She had one that had turned her ADO off for this month, but I said I would message her and I would say, hey, I don't know if you realize it or not, but you have an extra 10% off coupon that can be used. It can be used on anything. So if you need anything, I'd love to help you put your order in. So I encouraged her to do that. And I said, that could be your 3rd order. But I said, I would go through and I would text or call every person that's ever ordered from you and offer them a free gift. And I said, if you don't have eye patches, I'll help you with giving them a set of eye patches. And so she said, okay. And I said, and what I'm going to do is, Kristen has a sister-in-law that's an absolute beauty inside and out, and she just has a magnetic personality, and everyone loves her, and I would love to have her in this business with me. And she's a nurse. And I said, and I want you to give me your sister-in-law's phone number. I said, I want to call Amanda and talk to her myself. And she was like, oh, what are you going to say? And I'm just going to tell Amanda how she could help you and how we need her. And Amanda's like me. She loves the sun. She is, she worships the sun. And so I said, I'm going to call Amanda and I'm going to tell her. I'm going to ask her, I'm going to say, hey, we need you. And do you know how that you could help Kristen start her business and take her business to the next level? So I did, and I called her and I said those things to her. I called her at work, or she was at work, and she denied my phone call. And I texted her and I said, hey, woman, call me back. And she texts back immediately, who is this? And I said, Amy Todd. So she called me back, and I said, when she picked up the phone, I said, you hater buttoned me. And that really hurt my feelings. And she said, I hater button everybody that I don't know their number. So we laugh and we get through that or whatever. And I say to her, I said, Amanda, I said, you are beautiful. I said, but you're like me. I said, you've worshiped the sun. I said, I'm going to tell you something. I said, I have an advanced skincare set that could totally change your skin in 30 days. If you would commit to me and Kristen for 30 days and use this product for 30 days, I said, it could totally change your skin. And I said, and it could help your sister-in-law take her business to the next level. And I said, I know how much you love and care about her. And I said, and at the end of that 30 days, if you're not satisfied and you don't see results, I'll send it back for you. And so we talked, and she laughed, and she said, conversations like this is exactly why I hater button people. So that was really funny. And she was at the ER in town working. Like I said, she is a nurse. And I said, I'll bring you a Polar Pop after a while to make up for it. So before I went to my party at 5 o'clock, I went to town and I bought her a Polar Pop and a candy bar, and I took it to the ER to her. So that's pretty funny. But anyway, and we got a laugh out of that. But it's all about making relationships with people, making people feel like you need them, and making them feel special. That is just a really big thing. Now, would she have even considered, probably, if I'd have been like, oh, well, Kristen really needs you to try this, blah, blah, blah. You have to make it all about them, all about that person. So another little story that I experienced this week, I went to my sister's. My sister has little twins, and they're 1 year old next week. And so we had their birthday party last Sunday. And my brother-in-law's secretary is a really good friend of my sister, and she was there at the party. And somebody said something about Neora, and she said she used to sell it. So I was like, So I didn't really want to get into a big Neora spell there at the birthday party, so I really didn't say anything. And she told me that she'd earned a Lexus before when she used to sell it. And I thought, well, dang, if she earned a Lexus, she probably did pretty good. So I didn't have her phone number, and I was like, I know this is crazy, but I hadn't even friended her on Facebook. And so I thought, well, one day I was just driving down the road, and I could not get this chick off my mind. And I had totally stalked her out on Facebook and stalked all of her friends out and just been a complete troll. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to call my brother-in-law's office because I know she'll be there because she's a secretary. And so I'm just going to call the office and just ask for her. Maybe she'll answer the phone. And so I called, and somebody else answered the phone. And I said, hey, may I speak to Ashley? And they're like, may I ask who's calling? And I said, Amy. I didn't say Amy Todd. That's all I said. I just said Amy. And so it was a few seconds before Ashley came to the phone, and she answered the phone, and I said, hey, girl. I said, I know you're trying to figure out who Amy is. And she started laughing, and I said, there's a reason I didn't give my last name. She said, I was trying to figure out who Amy is. Or who Amy was. And she said, but now I know exactly who Amy is. And so we got to talking. We got to talking about her business in the past. And we got to talking about the past compensation compared to the new compensation. And likely Ashley will sign tomorrow or Monday. I am confident that she will rejoin this business. So it's just getting up the courage. Like, Ashley was not my friend. She's not. So like I said, we weren't even Facebook friends. It's just getting up the courage to call somebody that you really believe would be good at the business, and, making them believe that, telling them why you think they would be good at it and why you think they should do it again if it's someone in Ashley's shoes that has done the business before. So somebody else had asked me about a party that I had last Sunday night. I showed up at the party, and it was for my friend Joanne. Joanne is cute as a button, and I have no doubt that she's going to kill this business. But she was pretty bummed when I got to her house because, one, I drove over 30 minutes to get to her house, and I get there and there's only one guest there. One person is at her house. So one, she hates it for herself, of course, but she hates it for me too because I've driven all that way or whatever. Well, we sit there for a little bit, and I say, it's no big deal. It's not a big deal at all. I'm just going to go over it and just kind of show her how to do a party. And I always use those situations as trainings. And so we sat there for a few minutes, and another friend comes in. So she's got 2 guests at the party now. And so anyway, we're having a big time, and we're sitting there around the table just talking Neora, and I'm explaining some products, showing some before and after pictures. And we get to talking, and one of the girls at the party, she placed an order. So she had one personal customer order, and then the other girl, she winds up signing up as a VP, and she's going to be killer. Like, I believe with everything in me, she is going to be a rock star. So I'm explaining to Joanne some things that she needs to do to get ABC, to earn trip volume, to make money, whatever. So I'm telling her these things. So I say, okay, let's get some people on the phone. Who's some people that you've been talking to? Let's get them on the phone. So we didn't call people. She had already been in text conversations with these people. And so she ends the night signing 2 more customers just by following up with conversations that she'd already had with them. I helped her with verbiage and things to say to them. She did all the work. It was not a telephone call, which I think telephone calls are great, but in this situation, she had already been in conversation with them on text. And so she got 2 more customers. So she ended the night with 3 PCs, and she had her 140 free for the following month. Woohoo! Not only that, she followed up with 2 people that she'd been talking to about the business, and she ended up with 3 brand partners. We signed 2 people via text message that night, and she signed the 1 brand partner at her party. And so she ended the night with 3 brand partners and 3 personal customers, and only 2 guests at the party. So that was huge. That was a big deal. But again, like, I have been sitting at the nail salon getting a pedicure, and I will take a notebook in and sit down and go through my messenger and go through my text messages and follow up with people that have ever asked me about it. I've left the nail salon with 9 PCs before and a BP before, just from following up with people, just utilizing my time, no matter where I'm at, utilizing my time for my business. I mean, I'm just sitting there getting a pedicure anyway, and I would be talking nonsense to somebody if I was talking to somebody. And if somebody comes in and they want to talk, I can always lay it down. But just an example of following up. Follow-ups is everything, and that's exactly what we did with Joanne that night at her party. So people will say to me, what do I do if I don't have a phone number? What do I do if I don't have their phone number? Well, I'll tell you what I do if I don't have their phone number and it's somebody I really want to talk to. Crazy me, but it's just raw and real. And it sounds a little psychotic and stalkerish, but it's there for a reason, so why not utilize it? If you have Messenger, you can call people on Messenger. And so I have literally called people on Messenger before, and like, when they pick up, I might say the craziest thing, or I might holler. I might be like, what's up? You never expected me to call you on Messenger, did you? You know, I'm just be real, and I just don't try to be all salesy and professional. And then I might say something like, hey, how's your kids? Have y'all been playing ball? Or whatever it is their family does. You know, I'll say something relatable to their family. I may say their kid's name because people like for you to remember personal things about them. So I may say something like, well, how's your husband? But I may call his name. Or how's your grandma Sally doing? I know she hadn't been feeling well, so how's that going? You know, I'll always start the conversation with something personal, and then I'll say, hey, you know, I'm working my business today, and I was just trying to think of people, and I had to call you. And I think that you would love this, and honestly, I need you. I need you to do this. I need you to try these products with me. If you don't want to do the business, at least try the products with me and just give me your honest opinion. I need people like you. I need your opinion. Would you be willing to help me or at least talk to me about it? And I just go from there. And so I just feed off of, whatever they say. Well, Amy, I don't want to be a brand partner, but, I might buy some products from you. And I just do that. So if I don't have their phone number, utilize Messenger. It's there for a reason. So I always go back to, I like to go back to my friend Stephanie, who called me in April when we were running the $299 package. And she only wanted some of the wellness products and told me that, she'd never do anything like this ever again. She just really wasn't into it. So that's fine. So the more we talked on the phone, she had some good skincare that she was trying to finish up. But I told her, I said, you're spending $299. And if you're thinking about using the skincare anyway, you ought to just go ahead and get the bigger package. And that way you'll go ahead and have the skincare whenever you get ready. It would save you a lot of money in the long run. And so I upsold her to the bigger package. And, Stephanie is one of my best brand partners now. And you can't count people out that tell you they won't ever do the business, because lots of times people will see just how easy this is. And, Stephanie started conversing with me, asking me, if I do X, Y, and Z, what will that do? Or how can I get my products for free? And so we started talking like that. She realized just how easily she could get her products for free. And now Stephanie's earning a nice income for herself, and her daughters are earning a nice income. And she has several brand partners that are earning a nice income. So you can't ever count people out. And it's the same with my sister-in-law, Tracy, who's an attorney. Wendy wanted me to go after her from the very beginning. And I was like, Wendy, I'm not wasting my breath on her or my time, because she is so busy lawyering. There's no need in me asking her to do that. She's not going to do it. There's just no need in doing it. And now, honestly, Tracy's one of the top earners on my team. She does as well or better than anybody on the team. And so there again, that prejudgment, kick it to the curb. You cannot prejudge anyone. Tracy this week will likely sign a team of doctors. Don't count professional people out. And when I say professional people, I'm talking about doctors and lawyers and pharmacists and nurse practitioners and physician's assistants and people like that. Don't count them out, because honestly, they are seeking something like this. Everybody wants more time at home and more time with their family, and everybody wants to be at a ball game on time. They don't, moms want to get to the ball game at the beginning of the ball game, not at halftime, because they've gotten stuck at work and couldn't get there. And so don't count those people out. Do not count those people out. And just this next week, Wendy will likely go sign this couple that I have thought about a million times, because they do, their profession is something that always interests me. And I've thought about our new products that are coming, and this couple has always been in the back of my head. They've always been in the back of my head. But I never found the courage to call them up and talk to them myself, because I thought they'll think, with what they do, they'll think this is a joke and they will not be interested. This couple cannot wait to have a meeting and get on board and sell these products. So luckily they'll be in my downline, but I just said that to say, don't count anybody out. Don't count anybody out or prejudge anybody, because the ones that I have prejudged and said they would never be interested in this are honestly some of the biggest brand partners on my team and work harder than anybody and wanted this more than anybody. So that's basically all that I have on that. And it just, honestly, guys, just being raw and real with people. And just talking to people like you talk to your best friend, your sister, your mom, your grandma, other than when you're fighting or something like that. Just having a good time, just being real and just not being too serious. Because this is fun. This is fun. And there are times, it's a little more serious than other times. But when you're trying to recruit somebody, gosh, don't be that way, because you don't want to make them feel that they have to be that way. You want them to see how fun this is. That, hey, this is goofy, this is fun, but this works. And that's been my biggest thing, is just, hey, I got this product. It'll take the wrinkles off your face and the dimples off your butt. I know you want some. Everybody does. And just get the courage up to call people and contact them. However you can contact them. You know, I always say I will call first and foremost over anything. But, you know, however you can get in touch with somebody, get the courage up to get in touch with them and just be yourself.